Good evening, everyone. In the last class, we started discussing about proc report statements. What were the statements we discussed so far? In the last class, we started discussing about, we discussed about a statement called column statement. Why we did column statement? It specifies the variable names for which you want to get the report. And after that, what was the statement we used? Define statement. How to write a define statement? And what we can do in the define statement?
To define variable attributes.
What variable attributes that you can define?
Label, width, space, alignment.
So format the define statement. Define the variable name /. You can define the label, student name I want to have. Now, then after that one, we can define the width. Width is equal to how much our width you want to have. We can specify the width. And then we have defined spacing is equal to, yes, I want to have spacing 6. And then we can define alignment. So by default, all the character variables will be on the left side. You can write center or right side. Now then we defined format. Format is equal to, by default for character variable, the length is going to be the format. This will be the format. Okay. And I told you by default, all the character variables will be in the display mode. Okay. And this is called usage. So these are the 6 things we defined. We have, defined in the define statement. But I told you how many define statements we should write?
One define statement for each variable.
We should write one define statement for each variable. So how many variables you want to define? You should write those many variables. No. But if you want to get the default define statement in the log window, what is that option you should write?
List
option. If you write the list option will print all the default define statements in the log window. Okay. And this is what we have discussed in the last class. So first of all, I'm creating class dataset in the work library. Then I'm writing this program, proc report dataset name. You know that what the split option will do. And then we have written headline, head skip, and then we have written the line size is equal to 200. And then after that one, column statement is going to specify the variable that you want to get that for in the report, and define statement is going to define the variable attributes. What is that error that we have in this program? Okay, we haven't executed user-defined format. That's right, we are not getting that one. Now I executed that user-defined format. Now I'm executing this program. This is what we have seen in the last class. So far clear, everybody? If you are done with this one, now I will stop the define for time being, define statement for time being. Then I will go with the next statement, which is called break statement. You know, what is this use of the break statement? Break statement will specify physical breaks for whichever variable you specified that break statement. So if you want to have any physical break in your report, in your table, we use break statement. Generally, how we want to have the break. Do you want to have the break before the table is getting started or after the table or after the few values? Now, if you want to have, say, for example, do you know how many sex values that, how many observations we have in the class data set?
19 observations.
19 observations. In that we have a sex variable. Do you know that how many values that, what values that we have in the sex variable?
Capital F.
Capital F and capital F.
Capital F and capital M. Now just imagine if I sorted the data set, you know, we are going to have 9 females like this one. And then we are going to have 10 males like this one. Now, if I want to have after the females, one blank line, and then if you want to have one more blank line after the males, now we are going to use break statement. How I want to have my break statement? I want to have after the females one empty line, and after the males, I want to have one more empty line. If you want to have an empty line after the females and after the males, now we are going to use a statement called break after. So that means I want to have a break after the variable values. Okay. Now, after which variable, in which variable I want to have this break statement? I want to have this blank line based on the sex variable. Now we should write the break after sex. Now, after writing the break after sex, you should keep a forward slash. And what I want to, if you want to have an empty line, you should use an option called skip. So break, because I want to have a break after the sex. That means in the sex variable, if we have two types of values, females and males, I want to have one blank line after the females and one blank line after the males. You know, instead of after, we can also write before. Tell me what is going to happen if I write the before. You will get an empty line before. So that means you will get one line before the sex values, and you will get one more line before the male values. Before the female, you will get one line, and before the male, you will get one line. Understand this one? So if I specify the break after, now I will get the break after the sex value. And now, in the break statement, which variable I specified? Anybody? What is the variable that we have in the break statement? Sex variable.
Sex.
You know? So if I write the break after sex, how we are going to have? We are going to have one break after the females, after one more break after the males. So generally, if you want to have a break after the females, after the males again, you should have all the females at one place and then followed by all the males as one group. If you want to have all the females one group, all the males as a one group, what is that statement you should write?
Proc sort.
You need to sort the data, and then you should write by statement.
By statement.
But here we do not require the by statement and we do not require the sorting. Equivalent to sort that one. You know, now whichever variable you specified in the break statement, now, you know, I specified the sex variable. By default, sex is a character variable. It will be in what mode? What usage mode it will be in?
Display.
Display. Now, what I'm doing now, I'm changing the display into group mode. Now you can have a third type of usage, which is a group. So that means if you want to specify any variable, in the break statement, that variable must be present in group mode. So now what this group option will do, group option is going to group similar values, same values. So that means it is going to group all the females and then followed by all the males. Now see, after writing this one, I'm selecting this program, executing this program. Now, can you see in the output window? Now, can you see we have females and after we have in a blank line. And then we have a males And after that, again, we have a blank line here. Understand? This is what break statement can do. Now, instead of break after, instead of writing this program, this statement, I am writing now break after is. Tell me, I am writing forward slash. I want to have an empty line. I am writing this skip. Can I execute this program? No. If you want to write any variable, as I said in the break statement, that variable must be in what kind of usage?
Group.
Group.
Group. Now here we have a age variable. So I'm changing sum into now group. Now I do not require, this sex into group. I want to have as usual that the display mode. I'm changing the age from sum into group. Now I selected the program and executing the program. Now this is what we have. So can you see in that output window, we are going to have one empty line after the 11 years stage, then after the 12 years, then we have after the 13, then 14, and then 15, and then 16. So in the break statement, you can write any variable, both character and numerical variable, but if you write any variable, that variable must be in group mode. And apart from the group, we can also specify, what we can do, we can also specify. Now, which variable is specified in the break statement now? Sex variable. Now, the sex variable present in which usage now?
Display.
Since we have a sex in the break statement, how we need to change this one?
Group.
What is the usage you should keep? You should keep group. You should keep group, right? But you can also keep one more usage called order. You can keep either group or order. What the order usage will do? Order usage will keep the values in the order. So all the females, then followed by the males. Now we are going to have the value. Can you see this is also going to give the same result? Then if it is also giving the same result, then what is the difference between group and order? The difference between group and order is if we write a group option, what group can do, if the entire observation is duplicate, group will remove the duplicate observation. But order cannot remove the duplicate observation. So group will remove the duplicate observation if the entire observation is a duplicate, but order cannot do that one. Now see, I'm selecting this program, executing this program. Now we have like this one. Within the sex, I want to have age values also in the order. Now what I'm going to do, now I'm going to specify age variable also, either group or order. If I specify order, now within the sex, within the females, now we are going to have, age ascending order. I want to have a group sex, but I want to have a descending order. I'm writing an option called descending. If I specify the descending, what will happen now? We are going to have females first, males first, then female. But if you want to have a females first, then by default, what you will have? By default, you will have an ascending. Now, if I execute the program, I'm getting females as one group and males as another group. But what the break statement is doing here, just it is keeping an empty line. It's just giving a break in the report. But now, yes, I want to have a break. Along with the break, I want to have females age total, females height total, and females weight total. The same way, for males also, I want to have age, height, and weight totals. So how I want to have? I want to have this one by gender. Now, in the break statement, now what I'm going to break after sex, I'm writing a skip to get an empty line. Then I'm going to specify an option called summarize. If I specify the summarize option, now it is going to summarize the data based on the sex. Now tell me, in this data set, how many numerical variables that we have and what are the numerical variables that we have?
Age, height, weight.
Age, height, and weight. Now all the three variables will be get automatically summarized. So since we have a break after sex, so for females, we are going to get age, height, and weight total, and then for males also, we are going to have a height and total. So for example, I do not want to have a group because I specify sex as a group, for age as an order. I'm changing that into again sum. So by default, if you have a sum, you will get the totals like this one. Now, can you see? We have female age total, height total, and weight total. Then we have male age, height, and weight totals. So since we specified the summarize, what and all the numerical variables that we have, you'll get the totals for all the numerical variables. Since I have done the break after, based on break after age, break after the sex, you'll get female subtotals and male subtotals. Yes?
Sir, but skip what it will do, sir. Already we have break step, break after. Again, skip what it will do, sir.
Skip option is going to give an empty line. That will work only in output window.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then, when I'm doing this one, for which variables we are getting the totals now?
Numeric.
For all the numerical variables, right? But I do not want to have the totals for age variable, because I don't want to have the totals for age. I want to have it for only for the display purpose. If you do not want to have totals for age variable, by default, since age is a numerical variable, by default, what are the usages that we have? Sum.
Or compute.
Now I'm going to change that into display. If I change that into display, now it is going to be useful only for the display. It won't be useful for arithmetic operations. Now, can you see? Now you'll not get the total for age variable. So for any numerical variable, if you do not want to have analysis, you should change that variable from sum or analysis into the display. Understand this one. Now I'm selecting this program, executing. In the output window, this is how we are getting, and this is how we are getting it. Sorry, this is the result viewer window. This is how we are getting, and this is output window. In the output window, it is very hard to identify height total and the weight total, isn't it? So this is the height males total, weight males total. But what I want to do, I want to have some kind of separation between, individual values and the total. If you want to have in that way, now say in the break statement, I'm going to write an option called OL. You know what you mean by OL? OL means overline. Now select the program and execute it. Now, if you go to the output window, now can you see we have an overline? Because of that, we have a separation between the totals and individual value. In the same way, I want to have one more line here. If you want to have a line there, we are going to use an option called UL. UL means underline. Now you will get that underline. Can you see? Now it looks even more better. Now, what I want to do, I want to have a double overline and I want to have a double underline here and here also. If you want to have a double overline, we use DOL, double underline, DUL. Now select the program and execute the program. In the output window, you will get double lines. It looks even more better. Understand this one? Since I specified the sex in order, can you see group? Since actually we have female 9 times, but it will print only one time. So if you have the same value again repeating, it is going to print in a blank space. In the same way, total we have male 10 times. So first time it will print the male, and the remaining 9 times we will get in a blank space. Now I want to have a grand total. For all the 19 students, I want to have height total here and the weight total here. If you want to have a grand total like this one, now we are going to use a statement called R break. I'm writing R break again. By the way, before going into the R break, I am writing a break before. If I write the break before, what will happen? Now, since I specified the summarizer, you will get the females total, then you will get the females individual values, then you will get the males total, and then you'll get the male individual values. Can you see? We have female totals, then after that one female individual, then males total, and then males individual values. Because what we have done, we have specified break before. Now again, I'm changing that into break after. So you will get after that individual values. Now, what I want to do, I want to get the grand total. If you want to get the grand total, we use a statement called R break. You know, again, where you want to have this grand total, after the entire table or before the table. If you want to have after the table, right after. And the grand total is going to be only one after entire table got over. So for the R break statement, you no need to write a variable name, just R break after /. If you want to have an empty line, write a skip option. If you want to have a grand total, use a summarize option and keep a semicolon. So summarize is going to summarize that numerical variables. Now we have only two numerical variables, which is height and weight, because we specified sex in age in display mode. You won't get the totals for age variable. Now this is how we are going to get it in the output window. Now can you see we have a grand total for height variable and a grand total for weight variable. And by the way, I want to have underline and overline for this grand total also. Then what should I do? I am going to specify in the R break statement also double underline, double overline. Now we are going to have a double underline and double overline for the grand total also, like this one. Can you see? It looks even more better. Now, okay, in the proc report, since we have a double underline, double overline, we have a skip. Now it is distinguishing very clearly between the individual values and grand total. But in the result viewer, now it is difficult to identify the subtotals and the grand total. Now I want to apply some background and foreground colors for this one. So what I'm going to do in the break statement, after writing the after, then the variable name, then we have specified the variable, whatever the options. Now here itself in this statement, I'm going to write the style is equal to. Now within the flower brackets, what are the styles that you want to apply? I want to apply, say, for example, background color. Now I'm going to specify background is equal to, I want to have a line color. Then I'm going to specify foreground is equal to red color. Background is equal to, I will write yellow. Now, if I select the program and execute the program, now wherever we have a subtotal, so their background is going to be yellow color and foreground is going to be green, red color. And apart from this, what are the other options that we can write? Font underscore face is equal to, I want to have, say, for example, times New Roman. I want to have font underscore size is equal to, I want to have 4. Font underscore weight is equal to, yes, I want to have in a bold. I'll do one thing. I will take this one all out. Can you see? We have Times New Roman, we have size 4, and we have bold, and we have background yellow color and foreground red color. Now, in the same way, I want to apply the styles for grand total. Then where we should write now? Now we should write in the R break statement. In the R break statement, I'm writing a style is equal to within the flower brackets. Now I'm writing, so for example, background is equal to, I want to have cyan color. Foreground is equal to, I want to have a purple color. And font underscore face is equal to, I want to have, say, for example, Arial. And I want to have, font underscore weight is equal to font underscore, first of all, size is equal to, I want to have 4. And then font underscore weight is equal to bold. I'm executing all the programs together. Now this is how we are going to get it. Clear, everybody? Now, so far, what and all we have done? We have done this one by using proc print also. There's nothing much special about the proc report. Now we'll say where the proc report stands apart from, with other reporting procedures. Now, what is this? Height total, weight total. Now I want to have here a text called grand total because this is the grand total for all the 19 students. So I want under the name variable, here what I want to have? I want to have a text called grand total, which we couldn't able to do in proc print. I want to insert some text in the table. By the way, where exactly that I want to insert? After the table. అంత టేబుల్ అంతా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత గ్రాండ్ టోటల్ గా కావాలని. కానీ టేబుల్ అంతా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత కావాలి, బట్ ఆఫ్టర్ విచ్ వేరియబుల్ ఐ వాంట్ టు హ్యావ్? అండర్ విచ్ వేరియబుల్ ఐ వాంట్ టు హ్యావ్ దిస్ వన్? అండర్ నేమ్ వేరియబుల్. అండర్ ద నేమ్ వేరియబుల్. Okay, now see what I'm going to do. Now we are going to write a new statement called compute block. I'm going to write a compute. Remember one thing? In the proc report, if you are writing a compute statement, you should always end the program with end comp statement. But that one, end comp. Between the compute and end comp, now we can write whatever we want to have. By the way, where I want to have this text, I want to have this text after the table. Now we write a statement called compute after. So that means after the table, after entire table. Now tell me under which variable I want to have? Name variable. So name is equal to within the quotations. Now what I want to have? I want to have a grand hyphen total. Now I'm writing exactly the same string, whatever I want to have. So compute after. Why I'm writing the name is equal to? Because I want to have under the name variable. So name is equal to grand total, semicolon, end comp. Now I'm selecting this program and executing. Now can you see? Now under the name variable, can you see what is the structure that, what do we have a string that we have? Grand total. But unfortunately, we didn't get the grand total completely. You know why?
Length of
The length of that variable is only this much, 8, GRAND hyphen TO, so 8. If you want to have a grand total completely, you should have a more weight, more length. How to increase the length of a variable? How to increase the length of the variable? Anybody?
by using length statement.
Length statement. Where we should write the length statement?
Before
What before?
Before name variable.
Where
After
we have the name variable?
column.
After 4 columns, column.
4 column statement.
Before column, sir.
We cannot write a length statement in a proc step. We can write length statement only in data step. So I'm going back to the data step. In the data step, where we should write the length statement?
Before set statement.
Before the set statement. Now here I am writing the length statement for which variable I want to apply. For the name variable, I am writing name. It is a character variable. I want to have a length at 25. I specified the length 25. Now I'm selecting this program and executing it. Now we have an enough length. Then I am executing this program. Will I get it? No. You know why? Though I increase the length here, but still, now can you say what is the name variable format that we have here?
$8.
Then what should I do? I should change this one into the same 25. Now I changed that into 25. Now I'm executing this program. Now since we have an enough length, now can you see what I'm getting now? I'm getting complete character string which is called grand total. So this is how we are going to compute. What is this compute statement we have written? We have written compute after statement. Clear, everybody? Now my second now I'm executing the program one more time. Now my second requirement is, what is this? By the way, in the sex variable, I applied the format. I do not want to apply the format. I'm writing simply, say for example, sex1, $1 dot. You know that how the values are going to print. We are going to print F and M. Now, whose total this is 545 and 811? Females total. Now here I want to have F total. And here I want to have, this is males total. So I want to have M total. So now tell me where I want to have this character string, F total and M total, after females and after males. Specifically, I want to have after the sex variable. If you want to have after the sex variable, now what we are going to do, we are going to write one more compute statement. I am writing compute. You should after which variable I want to have?
It's very
Variable. Now we are going to write a statement called compute after sex. And I told you, whenever writing a compute statement, you should always close that with end com. Now, understand the difference between compute after and compute after sex? Compute after ante, after the table got over. Okay, then what is the compute after variable ante? After a specific variable. So since I'm writing a sex variable, now you will get the text. In the sex variable, we have two types of values, so females. Now we'll get the text after the females, and again you will get the text after the males also. All after the females will get text, and after the males also will get the text. Now, what I want to do, I'm writing this one. Now, because I want to have after the females and after the males in the sex variable, I'm writing sex is equal to sex double pipe symbol. Now within the quotations, I'm writing hyphen total. Now I'm selecting this program, executing the program. I'm expecting here F total and I'm expecting here M total. No, but I'm not getting. Do you know the reason why?
So that concatenation.
Concatenation?
We should give double hyphen sir, with the hyphen.
Which double hyphen? Double pipe again?
No, sir. For hyphen. For hyphen.
So do you want to put it separately like this one?
Yes.
No, you can write like this also. No, now what is the string I'm concatenating? Hyphen total. Since I'm keeping hyphen total within the quotations, you can write it in that way also. That is not the problem here. The problem is the length of the sex variable. What is the length of the sex variable in self-blood class?
1. Sir.
1.
So, but if you concatenate hyphen total, how much you require? Obviously more than what you need, but 8 or 10 or something, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But since we have only one, it is not printing. So what I'm going to do, I want to give the same length for sex variable also. Now I'm writing name sex $25. If I write like this one, now what's the length of the sex variable now?
25.
The length of the sex variable is also 25. This is also we are going to have length 25. But since I have already written the define statement, what should I do? I should go to define statement now. I should change that to again $25 dot. Otherwise, you won't get it. Now, since I specify the $25, now am I getting that F total and M total?
No.
No.
No. Do you know the reason? You know the reason. Now what is the length of the sex variable now?
25.
After writing the 25, right? So since it is a 25, how we are going to have the value? What values that we have in the sex variable of self-blood class? What values we have?
Capital
Capital F. Capital F.
Capital F.
Capital
Now
F
we are going to have, we are going to have a capital F, and then followed by you are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 trying spaces. Since now the sex variable length is 25, but actually we have only F and M, we are going to have either F or M. Then after that, what we are going to have? You are going to have a 24 trailing spaces. Now, if I write a sex is equal to sex double pipe symbol hyphen total, now this hyphen total will be get concatenated here. But if you concatenate here, how much length you require now? This is already 25. That's why even if your program is correct only, you won't get the value because what is the length of the sex variable now?
25.
25. It is getting concatenated after the 25. That's why you couldn't able to see in that output. What should I do now?
Increase the length again.
Okay. Since you said it, you see the length. If we increase it to 35, then what we are going to have? Now we are going to have a 34 trailing spaces.
Strip statement.
Don't
Can
use.
use skip function.
Stripper.
Now before concatenating, you have to remove these trailing spaces. How to remove the trailing spaces?
Trim functions.
Either a trim function or a strip function or a compress function. Now, if you want, you can also use a trim only. Now I'm using a trim function. Now, before concatenating, I'm removing the trailing spaces. Then I'm concatenating hyphen total. Now see, if I execute the program, now I'm going to have grand total. And then can you see, I have M total and F total now. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Now, the second part is done. And now, in sex variable, we have capital F and capital M. But I want to have, when we have a capital F, I want to have female. When we have M, I want to have a male. And by the way, here I want to have female total. I want to have a male total here. What should I do? F female కింద కావాలి, M male కింద కావాలి.
Use a different format.
Use the different format. Very good. I already created user-defined format. User-defined format. Here, can you see? We have a user-defined format called $6. Now, can I use the $6 now? Now, I'll go to the sex variable. Sex is the second variable here. I'm writing instead of $25, I'm writing a $6.25. Now, execute the program. Now, can you see, wherever we have F, we are getting female. Wherever we have M, we are getting male. But when I have a F total, I'm not getting female total. You know why? Because we created a user-defined format for only F and M. But this is not F. What is this?
Total.
This is F total. So whatever the format that you applied, it is getting applied only when we have F as a female, M as a male, because this is not F, this is F hyphen total, this is M hyphen total. Now it is not getting applied. If you want to apply format for that one also, when you're writing a user-defined format, what I should do, you should create a format for that one also. So that means what I should write now? I should write capital F hyphen total like this one. Is equal to, again, I should write the female like this one, isn't it? But that is not a good idea. Now what I'm going to do, I do not want to apply any format. So I'm changing that sex 25 dot into only $25 dot. Now we have one more solution for this one. You know, what is the solution that we have? Now, where I want to make, what you compute the values, where I want to manipulate the data, in which variable?
Sex variable.
Sex variable. Now we are getting a new statement called compute sex. Now understand the difference between compute after sex, compute sex. Compute after sex means after the sex values are got over. But compute sex means within the sex variable. Now compute sex, since I'm writing a compute system, how we should close with? We should close with end count. Between these two statements, now I'm writing if sex is equal to capital F, then sex is equal to what I want to have? Female. Now, else if sex is equal to capital M, then sex is equal to male. Do you have any doubt? Anything wrong here? Now I'm executing all the programs together. Now can you see when we have F female total female, when we have F total female total, M as a male, M total as a male total. Did you find anything awkward here? When we were discussing about if and where, I told you we can use if statement only in the data step. We can use the where statement both data step and proc step, isn't it? If statement అనేది ఓన్లీ డేటా స్టెప్ లో మాత్రమే పనిచేస్తుంది, బట్ వేర్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అనేది బోత్ డేటా స్టెప్ లోను ప్రాక్ స్టెప్ లో కూడా పనిచేస్తుందని చెప్పాను. బట్ వన్ ఎగ్జాంప్షన్, we can use if statement in the compute block of proc report. That is the only one exemption that we have for if statement. I told you in the starting of the proc report, when I'm defining a proc report, I told you proc report is a combination of proc print, proc means, proc frequency, proc tablet, and some of the features of data step. And this is one of the feature of a data step. What is that? If condition. Now selecting the program and execute the program. Now can you see wherever we have F, it is getting converted into female, and wherever we have M, it is getting converted into male. Clear so far? Now, the next what I want to do is, we have 5 variables in the SAS blood class, and we got the report for all the 5 variables. Now, what I want to do, I want to create a new variable. Generally, we can create a new variable only in the data step. But here also in proc report, by writing a compute statement, we can create a new variable. We can create a new variable. How to create a new variable? Now see, I am writing compute. What is the new variable I want to have? I want to have my new variable as an X. So compute X. Now you know that whenever writing the compute statement, you should end always with end com statement. And by the way, how many types of compute statements we have? First, we have written compute after. Now tell me, what was the second we have written? We have written compute after variable. And what is the third one we have written here? Compute variable. Compute variable. And what is the new statement we are writing now? Compute new variable. This is the fourth type of fourth type of compute statement. Now, what is the new variable I'm creating? X. Now, what I want to do in the X variable, I want to add plus 10. I want to add, height divided by weight divided by height. This is I want to have. Okay. Now X is equal to, I am writing weight divided by height. So I'm doing arithmetic operation. What is the arithmetic operation I'm doing? Just do not worry about this. What arithmetic operation? Just simply I'm writing weight divided by height. Now, if I execute this program, did I get the X variable in the proc report? No. You know the reason. If you want to get any variable in the report, where we should have that variable? In the column statement. Now I am writing that variable in the column statement. What is the variable? X. Now I'm executing the program. Still, did we get that? We got the variable, but did you have the values? Do we have the values? No. Now, remember one thing. If we are using any variable for arithmetic operation in the compute statement, you know what we should do? You should always tag that variable with the sum. Now I am writing weight dot sum and divided by height dot sum. Now only these variables will be get involved in arithmetic operations. Otherwise, the variables will not be get involved in arithmetic operations. Now can you see? Now we have the values.
But usage is already sum or compute now, sir. Again, we have to specify.
Yes, again, we should write in the compute statement. Even though that is a numerical variable in the breaks, in the define statement, we have a sum or an analysis. But still, since you are using that variable in the compute block, you have to address that as a numerical by writing a dot, a statistical keyword.
Okay, sir. Yes.
But now can you see what is the variable name I'm getting in the output now? X variable, and we are getting a 2 minute decimals. I don't require those minute decimals. Then what should I do now? We need to. I want to give the label. I want to apply the format. I want to give the width. I want to give the spacing. Now, what is the statement we should write now? We should write define statement.
Define statement.
Now, define statement. Which variable? X variable / I want to have it as a I want to have maybe body mass index or something. I'm writing a body mass index as the label. Then format is equal to, I want to have maybe 5.2. And then width is equal to, I want to give a uniform width every time. Now width is equal to, I want to give 16. And then spacing is equal to uniform spacing 6 I want to give. And yes, I want to print in the center. Okay, now I'm keeping a semicolon. Now, if I execute the program, yes, I'm going to have body mass index as the label. And yes, we have a 5.2, we have in the center, we have in a proper, we have a proper width, proper spacing, and it looks beautiful. Clear, everybody, so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is the report we are getting. Now, before the sex variable, before the females and before the males, I want to have some text, like how we have the text after the females and males. In the same way, before the males and before the females, I want to have some text. If you want to have a text there, now we are going to write a new compute statement called compute before sex. Then I'm going to specify and come. Now, what I want to do, I am going to write like this one, compute before sex. Now I'm writing sex is equal to. I want to, I do not want to have anything. I want to have some kind of text as per gender values. Now, this is a text I'm keeping within the quotations. Now, what I should write? Now, I'm going to write maybe at, I don't have that. So, for example, I am writing an option called line. Then I'm writing, say, for example, as per gender values. Execute the program. Sorry, keeping a semicolon. Now, selecting the program, executing it. Now, can you see what we have now? As per gender values. But where we are getting this as per gender values, I'm getting in the center of the table, but I want to have left side somewhere here. Now, if you want to have that one, now I'm going to specify line at maybe 2. Now, it is going to get started from the second column now. Now, this one, what I want to do, I want to have this one for some kind of style. Now I'm writing, say, for example, here, style is equal to, now within the flower brackets, I am going to say, for example, background is equal to, I am writing light green. Then if I execute the program, now we are going to have a background light green. Understand this one? Now, before the table, I want to have something. If you want to have before the table, what is the statement you should write now? What is the compute block we should write? Now I'm going to write compute just before. నేను compute after our ఏమైంది తెలుసండి? After the table, we got something. Now I want to get the before the table. I'm writing compute before. Now I'm going to specify end come. Now between the two statements, now again, I want to have in a line, then within the quotations, now I'm writing, say, for example, what I want to do. I want to have it as a student demographic report. Now select the program, execute the program. This is how we are going to get it. Can you see this one? But I want to have that one also at a specific point. I'm writing at 2. But here also I want to apply the style. Now I'm writing forward slash style is equal to within the flower bracket. So I'm writing background is equal to I want to have a line color. I'm writing background is equal to line. Line is not so good. This is how we are going to orange color. Clear, everybody?
The line here means that there should be an empty line in which we want a header.
You'll get a line. In that line, whatever the after the line, within the quotations, whatever you have written, you're going to get as a line.
Okay, sir.
Clear so far, everybody? Now, I want to have, in the previous class, I told you how many titles we can write in a report?
10.
10. So how many footnotes we can write?
10.
10.
So we can write 10 titles, 10 footnotes as the global statements. But if I want to have 11th title, you will not get anywhere in other procedures, but in the proc report, we can get it. But I want to get this title, generally title as where you will get the title? You will get the title outside the table somewhere here. Now see, if I write the title, this is how I'm going to get it. Say for example, I'm writing, say for example, title, Venkatram. Guys, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm writing a title within the double quotations. I'm writing, say, for example, student demographic report. If I execute this program, this is how we are going to get the title. Okay. But now what I want to do, I want to have a title, but I want to have the title as part of the table, within the table. If you want to have a title within the table, now we are going to write a new compute statement. And this is going to be compute before underscore page underscore. Now, whenever writing a compute statement, what we should do, we should the end come. Now, in between, I am writing the line within the single double quotations. Now I'm going to specify, what I want to have. I want to have, student class. I'm writing some table. Now see, if I select the program and execute the program, now can you see where I got this title now? Yes, I got the title, but I got the title as part of the table. But if you want to control that one also, wherever you want to print, you can specify, maybe I want to print from the 10th column at 10. Now we are going to get it the 10th here. Now for this also, I want to apply some kind of style, compute before underscore page underscore forward slash. Now I'm going to write the style is equal to within the flower brackets. Now I'm going to specify, background is equal to, I want to have an olive color. I'm writing background is equal to olive. Now I'm going to get the olive color for that one. Now in the same way, I want to have a footnote, but I want to have generally if I write the footnote, where you will get the footnote? Footnote రాసి ఎక్కడ వస్తుందండి జనరల్ గా
outside the
టేబుల్
table.
అంతా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అవుట్ సైడ్ ద టేబుల్ వస్తుంది. నేను చూడండి ఒక ఫుట్ నోట్ రాస్తున్నాను. ఫుట్ నోట్ ఏం రాస్తున్నానంటే సే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దిస్ ఈజ్ సిస్టమ్ generated mail. Please do not respond to this. You will get a footnote, but you are going to get outside the table like this one. But I want to have a footnote, but I want to have as part of the report. If you want to have that one, now what we are going to do? Now we are going to write what we should write? Compute after
Underscore.
compute after underscore page.
underscore.
Now write end comp. Okay. Now I am writing line. What I want to have? All the values are as per 2021, 22, 21, 22 data. Now see, this is how I'm going to get it. But again, I want to print from the specific point. Now I'm going to specify maybe at 2. And now forward slash, I'm writing style is equal to flower brackets. Within that, I'm writing, say, for example, background is equal to silver. Now I'm going to have a silver color like this one. Understand this one? Is this clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how many variables that we have in this report now?
6 variables.
6, sir.
6 variables. You know, first one is a name, then we have a sex, then we have age, then we have a height, then we have a weight, then we have now BMI.
Body.
Now, what I want to do, I want to keep the name, sex, age under one category, and here I want to have general info. Now I want to keep height, weight, and BMI under one category, and I want to keep this as an A. Say, for example, measurements. And now I want to keep entire thing under one category. Now I want to keep this as an A, demographic info. Understand what I want to have? I want to have hierarchy. So under the demographic, I want to have 2 classes, general info and measurements. In the general info, I want to have 3 variables, name, sex, and age. Under the measurements, I want to have height, weight, and BMI. Understand this concept? అంటే నాకు hierarchical గా క్లాసిఫై అయిపోవాలన్నమాట. Now దానికోసం everybody understand this concept first of all.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to have name, sex is under which category?
Generally.
General. Now go to the column statement. Go to the column statement. Now write name, sex is under one parenthesis. Okay. Now before the starting of all the 3 variables, now within the single or double quotations, what I want to have? I want to have it as a general info. Just that's it. Now I want to have height, weight, BMI under one category. I am writing height, weight, and X variables into one parenthesis. And before the starting of 3 variables, now within the quotations, now I'm writing, say, for example, how I want to have? I want to have it as a measurements. Okay. Now see, and after that I'm deleting this one because I want to execute without selecting my program. Now this is what happened. Now can you see? Now these 3 variables are under one category. Now these 3 variables under one category. Now I want to have these both these under one more category. Then what should I do? Again, I should go back to the column statement. Now we should keep all the 6 variables now under one parenthesis. Okay. Now before starting off this one, now what should I do now? I want to have it as a demographic info. Now select the program and execute the program. Now, can you see? we have demographic info. Under that, we have general and measurements. Under the general information, we have 3 variables. Under measurements, we have 3 variables. This is how we can divide the data hierarchically, the variables hierarchically. Understand this concept? Now we need to do a lot of other things, and we'll do that one in tomorrow's class. Okay? Everybody,
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
okay, then. Continue
Yes,
in
and then
tomorrow's. Okay, then. See you in tomorrow's class.